Hello and welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Up, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly selected UK top 10 singles chart from the past. We'll start with music fit for angels, remembering everything from when our hearts were carefree and gay, and soon we'll be back to stern reality, though dreams are not forgotten. Will we build them up to let them down? I'm James Cook.
I'm Andy Robinson.
Brother, are you happy and excited?
I am happy and excited to delve into a randomly chosen top 10 from the past, the UK charts at least. What week are we looking at?
We are going to the 27th of December, 1952.
1952, a long time ago. Christmas time as well. That is partially represented, I'm going to say. In the charts around this time, not in this week's top 10, there were other things like Takes Two to Tango by Louis Armstrong, High Noon by Frankie Lane, Silent Night by Bing Crosby, all of these kind of songs, James, some of which we'll be discussing in our bonus content.
Yeah, if I could dive straight in with some stats.
Please.
Because it tells a story.
I love your stat.
In this top 10, there are 3 UK number ones. In fact, the first 3 UK number ones are in this chart. There are 10 non-movers for a total net movement of no movement whatsoever. There'll be a reason for that, and I'll explain why in a bit. I've got a theory. There are 9 American artists, 1 Canadian and 1 Italian. No British artists at all.
Shocker.
There are 8 solo artists, 1 group and an orchestra.
By my reckoning, there are 7 songs dealing with the complexities of love, 1 instrumental of a Christmas classic, let's call it, 1 song about a location, and 1 song about changing nappies.
I don't think we'll ever do an earlier chart than this.
No, because we are very, let's call it, what's a good word for it? Vigilant about the random nature, aren't we? We don't get a random date generated by our big computers and then go, nah, we're not doing that one.
Because the UK singles chart started on the 12th of November 1952, so 6 weeks before this. The chart was started in the NME. It was started by a bloke called Percy Dickens, who would ring up 20 record stores and ask them for their top 10 biggest sellers of the week. And then he would compile a top 12, which this technically is, although there are 18 songs in it. Which means all but 2 of the songs are going to feature in either our main episodes or our special bonus tracks podcast. In our bonus tracks this week, we've got a menu and the plot of a movie in song form. We've got some actual British singers and a hilarious term of endearment. You can join our Patreon community for free, then sign up for the bonus tracks podcast for less than £1 a month.
I will also point out you can listen to these songs before, during or after this podcast because we've attached a Spotify and a YouTube playlist. Although I'm going to say, James, there's no videos to speak of because it's 1952, of course, this week. So we haven't got the videos to talk about. We haven't got, let's say, our life. Let's say we weren't alive when this chart was going on. No, not me, not quite.
Do you know who was alive?
No.
Joe Strummer.
Just born. Great facts. All right, then. Yeah.
Joe Strummer's older than the charts.
Let's do some other music news. What's knocking around this week? The NME was just launched, James. A kind of entertainment news. A Mousetrap just started at the New Ambassadors Theatre. And the Great Smog has just killed 4,000 people in London. That's not pop news, but I thought I'd chuck it in.
Yeah. That's a big smog. You see, they should have put in ULEZ.
I'm intrigued, James, in 1952, like I say, we're dealing with, let's call it, less material knocking around in the pop cultural universe. So I'm really intrigued to see how you're going to fit the Simpsons and the Muppets in this thing. Okay, I bought, not at the singles, not to put them in Percy Dickens' chart or whatever, but bought 20% of these on subsequently on, let's call it, compilations and best-ofs. So I had a little insight into 1952.
I had heard of some of these songs, but I hadn't heard them. So all of these songs are new to me.
There are no songs of self-reference, but there are 3 key changes this week, 2 of them within the same song.
Well, feet up, pat him on the popo, let's hear him laugh.
Number 7.
A non-mover at number 7.
Yep, I hear you.
Because of how the charts are done, the 10th biggest selling song of the week is apparently at number 7 in the charts. Things will be explained as we go, hopefully. It is Faith Can Move Mountains by Johnny Ray and the Four Lads.
I feel, James, I'm going to kick myself. I know things will have gone wrong when I make it's 1952, so it's an 8 minutes to 8 joke. If things are going very badly, I might do a 24-hour clock joke.
All right, we'll listen out for that. Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you my theory.
Oh, yeah.
About why they're all non-movers.
Please do.
It was the week after Christmas. I just think Percy Dickens didn't go to work, so they just put out the same chart again. I think that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So
Johnny Ray with Faith Can Move Mountains.
And what I thought is, can she? She must be very strong.
Great joke. Well, let's get into it. I mean,
You can tell it's a great joke because you didn't laugh. You just said great joke. As all great jokes, you get that reaction.
Well, I'm going to say this is a great song as well then. Did you like it?
It's fine.
I
don't hate it. I found it a bit meh,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, Johnny Ray's really going for it with the singing. He's properly emoting in it. The song is all about how, if you believe in me, then this, that, and the other, Bob's your uncle.
Yes.
Mountains will move.
Musically, it is pretty standard. Cindy, I believe, faith, you can move fountains. Haha, get me copyright if you can. Doobie can be. It's one of these sorts. You sort of recognise that song. Do, 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 do. That kind. Also it reminded me very much, chordally at least, of a song called You're First in Line by Elvis. Doo-boo-doo. Nice chord change.
Am I hearing Puff the Magic Dragon in that as well?
The Magic Dragon. Nice work. Live by the sea.
Nicked it from Johnny Ray, haven't they?
Nice.
They've nicked it.
Yeah, so again, chordally, the structures, I am never saying when I get a guitar out and flail around, this is all it is. It's obviously a lot more than that. They're the building blocks. So it is melodramatic. I don't like the notion of, if you put faith in me, then I'll be brilliant. Johnny, just sort yourself out. Don't rely on someone else's faith. I mean, George Michael, didn't it make me think of George Michael? He'd got to have faith in somebody else. It was a self-imposing. Johnny Ray's almost demanding someone puts faith in him before he decides to move a mountain.
We've spoken on our Bonus Tracks podcast before about Johnny Ray and his life and his trials and tribulations, shall we say.
On YouTube, the comments below, No Man Mo 52809 says, a great singer considering he suffered from a severe hearing disability. Hence, some of his words were overpronounced and sometimes he struggled with some of the lyrics. That's according to that fella, at least.
If only people had had more faith in him, maybe he'd have pronounced them properly.
Alan Fox 27312 says, there are a rumour Johnny Ray was homosexually gay.
What a way to put that. He had relationships with men.
Yes.
He was also married to a woman.
Yes.
So we don't know. He's not around.
No care, really. Johnny Ray, as you say, he's got such a melodramatic quality to his voice, isn't he? The Nabob of Sob, I believe, was his nickname. And whenever I used to read a lot of Elvis books, I always used to talk about the phenomenon of, let's call it, Elvis's teenage girl.
Fan base, do you mean?
And wives, James,
Oh,
thinking
yes.
about
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Anyway, so...
Surely a wife is just a fan base.
like Gary Newman.
Yeah.
He married a big fan of his, didn't he?
Married the head of his fan club, apparently.
Yeah. And out of our bash, he married a stalker. Have I made that up anyway? Email us into shoobypodcast@gmail.com when you spot us talking bollocks.
God, we'd get so many emails.
There was a point where Johnny Ray, he was almost the first, according to what I've read at least, he was the first teen idol. He induced a kind of mania in teenage girls, so he's got that going for him.
Tony Bennett called him the father of rock and roll.
Okay, great.
We should also mention the four lads.
Please.
From Canada. They used to be known as the Otnerots.
Really?
Do you know why?
No.
Write down Otnerot and see if you can work out
Hang
why.
on. Let me get a pen while I'm here. Otnerots, you say?
Yeah.
O-T-N-A-R-O-T.
No, N-O-R-O-T.
Otnerot. And where they're from? Canada. Ontario?
No.
Otnerio?
No, you're looking at it the wrong way.
Toronto.
It's Toronto backwards. Yes.
You arseholes.
They were also briefly called the Jordanaires.
Okay.
But with an O. And of course, the Jordanaires were Elvis's backing singers.
For sure.
This is their biggest UK hit, but they had many more in the US, including Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Yeah.
They did that. And they also did Gilly Gilly, Awesome Pfeffer, Katzenellenbogen by the Sea.
I love that song.
This song, music by Guy Wood, a saxophonist from Manchester who also wrote the music for a song called Shoe Fly Pie and Apple Pan Dowdy, a popular song about Pennsylvania Dutch cooking. What's your favourite song about Pennsylvania Dutch cooking?
The Pennsylvania type of cooking, you say?
Yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch cooking specifically.
Well, there's so many to choose from, isn't there? I once had 6,500 Pennsylvanian dishes, so I particularly like that song about it.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
Lyrics by Ben Raleigh, who would have a UK #1 with Tell Laura I Love Her, and he also wrote the lyrics for the theme tune to Scooby Doo.
Well, let's put him right at the top of the panoply of songwriters then.
I think
he wrote the Scooby Doo, Where Are You, and all that.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the lyrics to this, wrote the lyrics to Scooby Dooby Doo, Where Are You? Must have taken him hours. That might be the closest we get to a Simpsons reference this week.
Yeah, fair enough. As long as one's in, I don't mind. Makes me feel grounded.
Number 6.
A non-mover at number 6. Really meaning number 9, don't tell James.
The official chart says this is at number 6.
It's really number 9. It's Nat King Cole with Somewhere Along the Way.
This week, this is the grower on me.
Dig into your emotional response to this song.
Was Nat King Cole's voice? You know, we all know it. He's got a warm, welcoming tone. He could sing anything. And I started thinking, could he sing that Scooter song from the other week that I hated?
The logical song.
Yeah. No, but the Scooter version of it. If Nat King Cole was shouting, let's get jiggy with it, or, you know, Siberia's the place to be, would I think fonder of that song? And I think the sentiment of this song is very interesting.
It's got great words to it, this song. Let's do it.
It's all about a relationship which was going great, and then it went wrong somewhere along the way. And it's kind of not specified what it was along the way that went wrong, which is classic behaviour from the person who did the wrong thing, probably.
You reckon?
Ah, well, why else? Why wouldn't you mention it?
Okay, all right, then that's good. The friends we used to know would always smile hello, no love like our love, they'd say. Then love slipped through our fingers somewhere along the way. That type of sentiment.
But it's that thing of remembering the relationship with fondness even though it's over.
A classic staple of songwriting subject matter, I'm going to say. But it's dealt with very skillfully in this song, I have to say.
Reminded me of Here's Where the Story Ends.
Yeah, for sure.
By the Sunday/Tintin Out. It has the same sort of vibe.
I remember you saying when we did that podcast all that time ago, James, you were saying it was almost a unique song, wasn't it? Here's Where the Story Ends.
Yeah.
No other song really dealt with that sentiment.
Yeah,
and here we are.
Now we found another one. Turns out I was talking out of my hole.
No. I love this about, let's say, discovering these songs. On YouTube, Janine Cathcart627 says, where did all the songwriters go? Where did all the singers go? I am suggesting, Janine Cathcart, that you listen to more Shooby Dooby Doo-Wops from the past and you'll hear loads of them. Nonetheless, so it's got that old kind of old feel to it, hasn't it? Nat King Cole was a merry old sock. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Great pianist, great singer, great stylist. I mean, everyone on YouTube loved this song, but then 7 people put the thumbs down. Click that. And then Prometheus Fallen, I love this comment. He says 7 people wouldn't know amazing music if it hit them in their foreheads. They'd probably think Lil Wayne is good music. It was so unusual in this YouTube comment universe when you're reading old people saying this reminds me of my dead dad, for Prometheus Fallen to bring up Lil Wayne.
Yeah, what if you liked both things? Prometheus Fallen. Who calls themselves that, you pretentious twerp? Anyway, I can tell you about the people who wrote the song if you want to know.
James, you know I do. Jimmy Van Heusen.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me more about him.
What do you know about him?
I saw in a YouTube comment that he wrote it, and I thought, I know his name because he's done loads of stuff, and then I thought, James will look it up and tell me.
Well, he wrote this using the pseudonym Kurt Adams.
Oh, yeah, why?
I don't know.
Do you think it might have been one of those Ronnie Barker things, let's call it, where he didn't want to put his name, he wanted the song to be recognised as great without his own reputation?
Well, Jimmy Van Heusen wasn't even his real name anyway. His real name was Edward Chester Babcock. Fun fact, Bob Hope's character in Road to Morocco was named Chester Babcock after Jimmy Van Heusen's real name.
Nice research.
He won 4 Oscars for Best Song. Swinging on a Star, All the Way, High Hopes, and Call Me Irresponsible. He also wrote the music for My Kind of Town, Ain't That a Kick in the Head, Come Fly With Me, Love and Marriage, and about 1,000 other songs.
Yes.
He was close friends with Frank Sinatra, so close that he drove Sinatra to the hospital after he attempted suicide when he broke up with Ava Gardner in 1953, and then never told a soul about it.
The truth got lost somewhere along the way. All right, then, this is good. This is good stuff.
He also had his own private plane, which he would fly about in. He started balding in his 20s.
Hair falling out the head,
Yes.
as opposed to the relationship with Claire.
Yes, that's
1952, James. We've got to fill it up with some nonsense.
Yeah. And do you know what he did when he started balding? Bear in mind, this is 1952, so he's way ahead of his time here.
He got some sort of transplant plugs.
No, he shaved his head.
Cool.
People didn't do that. They all had comb-overs and stuff, didn't they?
That's right, yeah.
But not him. He was ahead of his time. The lyrics are by Sammy Gallup, who also wrote lyrics for Shoe Fly Pie and Apple Pan Dowdy, a popular song about Pennsylvania Dutch cooking.
Never heard of it.
What's your favourite song about Pennsylvania Dutch cooking?
Well, it's all about the cooking. I like all these Sinatra links because also on YouTube I learned that Nelson Riddle arranged this record, so that's another, let's call it, link, isn't it?
And Sinatra did a version of it, of course he did, as did Tony Bennett, and Natalie Cole, Nat King Cole's daughter, and Cliff Richard did a version of it, and Bob Dylan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
When he's re-recording all these, that'd be all these kind of jazz standards he was revisiting recently.
I think it was 2017.
Yeah, man.
He did,
yeah, okay, great. I will have to listen to Bob Dylan's version of this. I must have heard it in my life, but I didn't recognise it.
My advice, don't listen to it immediately after having heard the Nat King Cole version. I think it would not hold up to a favourable comparison.
All right, then.
Voice-wise.
So you're going to disagree with Triaruna on YouTube. This was a weird comment, because it's beautiful, isn't it, this song? It's a beautiful record, no doubt about it. But this Nana, Triaruna, whatever his name is, says, very average rendition of a very average tune. With his range and feeling, he could have made this a masterpiece. Well, we all have our off days. I disagree.
My God, who is that person? Where do they get off having a go at Nat King Cole?
It's kind of weird. To counterbalance that accusation, let's have a YouTube comment from Larry Roberts. This is a good summary, I think, of, let's call it, the era. A great singer from a simpler time when the government wasn't corrupt.
Sorry. Sorry. Laughing at the idea of governments at some point not being corrupt.
You might notice I am not playing the guitar to this one to explain the building structures because it's so nice and jazzy and complicated and I can't do it.
Number 6.
A non-mover at number 6.
Number 8.
It's also at number 6 and it's still with it. And it's also by Nat King Cole.
Yep.
Just to confuse things. And it is the song Because You're Mine, which is okay. I don't think it's as good as Somewhere Along the Way.
James, this song is an enigma, wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a conundrum. I've been listening to it a lot this week. I can't quite ever hold it in my head. It's nebulous, it flows, it moves, there's a conductor on it. It's, again, I'm not going to attempt the chords to this one because it's way too difficult. It's certainly not a catchy slap you in the face song, is it?
No, it feels a bit more generic.
You think?
Yeah.
I felt the absolute opposite. I thought this is some kind of almost a free-form pop song.
Well, the lyrics are all, because you're mine, the brightest star I see looks down, my love and envies me because you're mine. It's just, it doesn't really have much of a story other than we're in love, innit? Great.
The story, I believe, in this song is within the beautiful music, I'm going to say. It's very sophisticated, this song, I think. I was amazed it was number 8.
6. Music by Nicholas Slug Brodsky, who was born in what is now Ukraine, who was a 5-time Oscar nominee, and this song is nominated for the Oscar for Best Song.
Okay.
But it is beaten by a song that we're going to cover in our bonus tracks podcast for Patreon subscribers.
Hey, if that doesn't make you put your hand in your pocket, I don't know what. Well, I'm only being silly. All right, then.
Yeah, because this is a song from a movie, the movie called Because You're Mine, IMDb rating 5.9, starring Mario Lanza.
Oh, really?
Who did the original version of this song.
Okay.
So Mario Lanza's in this movie. During the movie, he loses 70 pounds during filming, which means his weight randomly goes up and down from scene to scene. There's like no continuity at all. There's one sequence where he's like about 160 pounds as he walks into a church. Then it cuts to inside the church and he's like much, much bigger. Right. He's like, wow, you had a lot of communion wafers, mate. The Mario Lanza version was actually a bigger hit. It got to number 3. And that was in the charts for 6 months. But
in the month before? I thought, how could it be in the charts 6 months before when we've only just started the chart?
No, it's in the charts right now.
Ah, my apologies.
It's outside the top 10.
So it is.
At number 10.
Right.
Which for some reason is outside the top 10 this week. Yeah. This version gets to number 6 and is only in the chart for 1 month.
Okay, like I say, I saved this for Nat King Cole. Again on YouTube, I was reminded the fact that Capitol Records was known as the house that Nat built because he was so popular, sold so many records for Capitol, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was my granddad's favourite singer. This might not be the only mention of my granddad during this chart.
Again, a nice little, let's call it teaser.
One thing I did like about this song, it's got like a proper ending, hasn't it?
Yes, let's dig into some of the endings from 1952.
Yeah.
They're all very proclamatory, if that's a word, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not fading out.
No, they're not having a little jam for a few minutes.
Yeah, it kind of goes dun 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 dun.
Yes, like old cartoons, it reminded me of that kind of thing, but yeah.
Very cinematic. You can imagine the words "The End" in big letters. The End, filmed in Panavision.
Natavision, yeah, all right.
He's not in the film.
I like the idea of Mario Lanza ballooning up and down while you're watching a film. That's quite good, isn't it? If Christian Bale did it, everyone would be saying what a marvellous piece of acting that'd be.
It'd be like watching Matthew Perry if you just watched random episodes of Friends, one after the other. Or Rob McElhenney in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He goes up and down in weight, doesn't he?
Yeah. Acting is a very tricky job, isn't it? Adrian Brody did that Oscar speech. We haven't put these out yet, so I don't know when. It made me think, James, when Adrian Brody was banging on for 10 minutes about his art and his craft and how he was representing grief for everybody, made me miss Will Smith, to be honest, at the Oscars.
Bring Will Smith in to slap him off the stage. There's a much more effective way than playing a bit of music that they can talk over.
But Chris Rock's silly joke about G.I. Jane, I didn't think that deserved a slap. But I have to say, Adrian Brody, I was thinking, man, you're providing a lot of material here for somebody to give you a bit of a, let's call it, rude awakening. Anyway, what's that got to do with Nat King Cole? Nothing.
Number 6.
It's the non-mover at number 6, really meaning it's number 7. I'm sticking with that, James.
It's number 6, mate.
It is Mantovani with White Christmas.
Yes, because it's 27th of December, this chart. Yeah. And so this is the one concession to Christmas music. It's very stringy, isn't it?
It is so stringy. I know. I have to say, it is a song with 2 key changes in within itself, so that kept it vaguely interesting for me.
Also, when the sleigh bells kick in, it does sound like someone's gone, oh shit, we should have some sleigh bells in it. Quick!
Yeah.
Come in like such an afterthought.
Yeah, I agree. I found it vaguely annoying, this verse. I love the song White Christmas. You know, there's many great versions of that song. Who the hell is Mantovani?
Annunzio Paolo Mantovani, Britain's most successful album act until who comes along?
I imagine the Beatles.
It is the Beatles,
yeah.
Riley. Born in Venice, his family moved to the UK when he was 7. After graduating from Trinity College of Music, he formed an orchestra which played in and around...
Don't know.
If you're born in Venice, where are you going to go? Where's got more canals than Venice?
The beautiful city of Birmingham.
That's right. He kind of started off playing in and around Birmingham, Mantovani.
Really?
Yeah. By the time of the war, his orchestra was one of the most popular dance bands in the UK. He'd have 2 UK number ones, including the first ever instrumental number 1 with Moulin Rouge theme. The first time I ever heard the name Mantovani is he's name-checked in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Go on.
There's a scene where there's like a backstage tour going through some studios.
Yeah.
And one of the tourists spots Michael Jackson and he's really excited and says to his Nan, it's M. And she goes, Mantovani? And he goes, no, it's Michael Jackson. And then they all run after him.
I like that. All right, great. Mantovani remaining in the pop culture. Moonwalker, you say?
Yeah, have you seen that?
Ah, yeah, I did go and see it.
Such an odd little film.
I loved it personally.
Yeah.
I like the bit at the end. It's so mad, isn't it? Like there's so many great scenes at the end. I always thought this was interesting. He meets 2 kids. Hey, nothing's going on. Keep away. He says to these 2 kids, hey, I'm going to show you the best thing you've ever seen. And the kids are excited, and you think, what's this going to be? Basically, him doing a ropey cover of Come Together at the end. It's not an ending. And bearing in mind what you've seen beforehand, it's certainly not the best thing in that film.
Anyway, we're talking about White Christmas.
I had the Moonwalker video game on Sega for a little bit, and that sent me mad for, let's call it, a month.
Yeah, okay. But we're supposed to talk about Mantovani's version of White Christmas.
Okay.
There have been more than 500 recorded versions of White Christmas, with total physical sales of over 100 million, over 50 million alone for the Bing Crosby version, which was released in 1942.
Written by Irving Berlin.
That's right,
Yeah.
who was born in
Berlin.
Russia. Writer of around 1,250 songs, 25 American number ones, including Cheek to Cheek, Easter Parade, God Bless America, Let's Face the Music and Dance, Putting on the Ritz, There's No Business Like Show Business.
Yeah.
All of these songs. When he won his Oscar for Best Song, who presented him the award?
Give me a clue.
His name is also Irving Berlin.
Irving Berlin there.
Yeah, he's the only person in Oscars history to present the award to himself.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. What's your favourite version of White Christmas?
Well, there are so many to choose from.
Yeah.
I was looking into who's had chart hits with White Christmas. Lady Gaga
Really?
got to number 87.
I want to play that game, James, where, like Jeopardy, I'm going to take the name and then do a little Jeopardy backwards clue.
So Lady Gaga,
Who, despite being brilliant, got a right kicking for her role in Joker 2, Folie à Dieu.
87 in 2011. The cast of Glee,
I don't know anything about them.
well, don't look up some of them. They got to number 98 in 2019. Keith Harrison Orville,
Who wished they could fly right up to the sky, but one of them couldn't.
got to number 40 in 1985.
Yeah.
Freddie Starr,
Who made me laugh my socks off as a 6-year-old seeing him, and also weirdly got me into the notion of Elvis Presley. That's how I discovered Elvis, seeing
Through
Freddie
Freddie
Starr
Starr.
doing a daft impression in a white suit.
Freddie Starr once threatened to beat me up.
Hang on, why are we talking about Mantovani when we caught up? Go on.
Through a bizarre chain of events, me and my mate Andy ended up in Freddie Starr's house. And Freddie Starr had just...
Please tell me the bizarre chain of events. Briefly, if you'd only go into...
My mate Andy had been working with Freddie Starr's wife on a TV thing, and Freddie Starr wanted to do like a comedy show, and Andy's done a bit of comedy writing, so he would meet up with him, and Andy said, my mate James is a comedian, he might be able to help, so I ended up going along, and we were in his house. He started talking about how he just filmed something for Most Haunted, and he pointed at me and went, "Do you believe in ghosts?"
Yeah.
And I went, "No." And then he just kind of went on a mad rambling rant about how ghosts are definitely real, and he once threatened to kill Addison Creswell. And
Who was an agent?
He was a comedy
the
agent.
dearly departed Addison Cresswell.
And that he once took a guy into the woods and shot him,
Right.
and all of it, and basically threatened me with violence in not so many ways. And then he went off to get a drink or something, and I turned to Andy and I went, "Is he normally like this?" And Andy went, "No, we need to leave." So we made our excuses and left.
I love that
all I'm going to
story.
say is Freddie Starr's been dead a while, so if ghosts are real, where are you? Come on.
He exists in my psyche, Freddie Starr. He made some great pop records, let's say, so we can certainly talk about him on this podcast, can't we? But also, so funny, Freddie Starr. Often, not,
Yeah,
come on.
when he started, and he got
God.
very lazy very quickly.
I mean, his impression of Mick Jagger at the Royal Variety Performance is a thing of beauty. You're traumatised by him.
Yeah.
Good job you didn't
Anyway.
have a hamster, etc., etc.
This is going to be the longest song we've ever talked about because we've not talked about the song at all.
It's right, we're doing two-parters. These.
Anyway.
It's real good.
Another version of White Christmas that got in the charts by Jim Davidson.
Who, despite being a friend of Freddie Starr, probably didn't threaten to beat up James. Freddie Starr would have rung up Jim Davidson and gave you, let's call it a double dipping.
No, I've not met Jim Davidson, so he hasn't threatened to beat me up.
I
yet.
met him once.
He threatened to beat you up?
No, I was doing a warm-up for some show. He came in while I was standing at the back, said, "Who are all these acts?" I told him who all the comics were. He rolled his eyes to the sky, huffed and puffed and stormed off. I mean, sometimes, James, I support people in, let's call it, the regional theatres, the provinces. When you're trying to get just a conversation with the staff there, I often say to them, "Who you had lately?" We have a little chat about who they've seen. Then I try and slip in who's been good? They tell me. Then I slip in, who's the worst act? Who's the most difficult act you've ever had? Always Jim Davidson.
Well, he got to number 52 in 1980 with a version of White Christmas. The title takes on a completely different meaning when you realise that Jim Davidson's in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, Elvis did a version of it.
Yes, the first version I knew so very much close to my heart, that beautiful version. It also, I heard, I can't remember because I always get confused, the Elvis take on White Christmas is really like one of those doo-wop groups. He kind of nicked the arrangement, I'm going to say, but nonetheless.
What did Irving Berlin think of Elvis's cover?
I hoped he would have thought it was beautiful, but I imagine he would have thought it was some kind of rock and roll sacrilege.
He called it a profane parody of his cherished Yuletide standard and ordered his staff to call radio stations and demand that it not be played.
Really?
Although Although there is a chance that he did that to drum up publicity.
Yeah, let's hope so.
There
Get
is
more
a chance
money.
for that.
Also, there's a version by T-Rextasy. I'm going to say the covers band.
Yeah.
It's great. It is because they do this, but they sort of do it in the style of T-Rex, dung, 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 you know, that kind of riff. And at the end of White Christmas, they break into the end of whatever T-Rex song they're doing. La, 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 la. Works great. Check that out if you can.
This version, the Mantovani version, is the highest charting version of White Christmas in the UK until 1977, when Bing Crosby's version is re-released and gets to number 5.
Who died on the 18th hole? That's not a reference to Michael Jackson, by the way.
Is it Bing Crosby?
I'm playing that game still, aren't I?
Oh, okay.
This version of Mantovani, despite it being the most popular, it reminded me a little bit of music to walk around a shopping mall to, on a big murderous shooting spree. That's a joke, America, if you're listening to that. Yeah, there's something really annoying about it.
It's got a Muzak quality, and that was one of the criticism that was levelled at Mantovani, is that he was twee.
Yes, despite selling the most albums, I'm sure he didn't give a monkeys what anyone thought.
But he was an adopted Brummie, so...
Yeah, so we like him now all of a sudden. All right, for some reason, I'm going to mention that more, Mantovani.
Get him a star on Broad Street.
Number 5.
A non-mover at number 5.
6.
We've moved away from number 6. There were 3
really?
records at number 6. We're now on number 5.
All right, cool. I'm back on solid ground.
No, it is the number 6. You were right.
You're confusing me.
It's Half As Much by Rosemary Clooney.
Finally, a record I've loved this week. No, that's unfair because I was intrigued by Nat King Cole. Yeah, go on, Rosemary Clooney doing an old song by... Well, it was recorded by Hank Williams. I don't think, again, people... Well, I sort of know because I had a little check, so I don't know. I'm trying to pretend that I haven't Googled this. A lot of people saying this is a Hank Williams song. It is not. It is written by a fella called Williams, a fella called Clarence Williams, but Hank Williams did it around the 50s.
Yeah.
There were loads of people doing Hank Williams songs, like Tony Bennett did Cold Heart, Joe Stafford did Jambalaya, Joni James did Your Cheating Heart, Tommy Edwards do You Win Again. He's always covered Hank Williams to some extent. Even Nora Jones on her, whatever that big record she had, did a version of Cold Heart. So it comes from that pedigree.
Yeah, written by Curly Williams.
My apologies.
Was his name. He was born Doc. That was his first name.
Okay.
Why?
Because his mother was a big fan of the Seven Dwarfs.
Well, it's got something in common with the Seven Dwarfs.
Go on.
This is an old tradition that the 7th son born to a family would become a doctor. And so Curly Williams was the 7th son, so they called him Doc. That's the same reason why the 7th dwarf is called Doc, because the 7th son is going to be a doctor.
Great. Do you think Dre was the 7th son of somebody? I mean, like the 7th son of 7th son is very much a blues terminology. That's why I'm familiar with that concept, the 7th son.
Curly Williams was a member of the Georgia Peach Pickers, which is a great name for a band. This is a song you've loved, though.
Yeah, I love this song. I know other people doing it. Let's do it. It's a simple country song, isn't it? Let's try and... So it's kind of, you know, that got that rhythm. If I love half as much as baby, I love you. That kind. I always wanted her to go after it. Then I'd love you twice as much as... you know what I mean? That half as much thing. I think that could lead to... Let's call it a little bit of nonsense, but I'm not criticising Mr. Williams. A great song. Simple country song, but delivered with charm, sophistication, urban decadence. We've covered Rosemary Clooney before. You know, she's a great singer, isn't she, of course?
I'm a bit worried about the relationship in this song.
Okay, go on. All right, then let me chuck this in before you get this. Okay. On YouTube, Mag Dadagraph says, this song is about the toxic relationship with one who is known as a borderliner. And I looked up borderliner on the Urban Dictionary to find out what that is. Bad news.
Someone with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, let's call it that.
I actually wrote down so many red flags of toxic behaviour in this song.
Go on.
It's about a lopsided relationship. Someone loves the other person more than they love them. You're nice to me when there's no one else around.
Yeah.
So in front of other people, dismissive and awful. You only build me up to let me down.
Yeah, it's dark.
if you missed me half as much as I miss you, you wouldn't stay away half as much as you do. What's going on here?
What is going on?
Run for your life, Rosemary.
I guess when Hank Williams sang it, it's got that because of, let's call it the white soul of country music. You hear the heartbreak in the relationship more, but because of the beauty and the lushness and the orchestration of this, it's confusing. It's discombobulating.
You just want Rosemary to ask for Angela. Get it sorted out. And she's like, I wouldn't be this blue if you only loved me half as much as I love you. So he doesn't even love her half as much. Yeah. It's less than half.
Yep. Like I say, the fractions of the love is an intriguing thing in this song.
I don't know how that's measured.
All right, James, I had a little look into your world, I'm going to say. I'm going to preempt this with...
You've been talking to my wife?
Well, only about your life insurance. In the YouTube comments, there was a lot of people saying, I thank Taehyung for this, yeah? Then there was a lot of mention, Taehyung. I was thinking, what the hell is going on? After a bit, I've worked out it was on a playlist that was shared by Taehyung. So a lot of people flocking to YouTube to listen to this song and comment on it because of Taehyung. Do you know who Taehyung is?
No.
He's a pop star who must have shared it on a playlist, this weird old 50s song, and he is in the K-pop band BTS.
Oh, I love BTS.
Do ya?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
All right, then.
I don't know their names, though.
Okay. Taehyung, right, he's known as another name, and it's one of the letters in the alphabet, James. So, go on, you've got at least 26 goes at this.
L.
No.
P.
No.
F.
No.
B.
No.
Z.
No.
This is not going to be fun to listen to. Just fucking tell me.
I'm having a right laugh doing it. Go on, 3 more, then we'll move
K?
on. No!
V.
Yeah!
Is it V?
Yeah.
It's V.
All right, then. Thanks for indulging me in there. He shared this playlist, and I thought, I'm going to look into who Taehyung is. And then I looked at him. He won an award, James, in 2021, Taehyung. He won the Special Presidential Envoy for Future Generations and Culture.
Sounds like he's a time traveller.
It's a good medal for sure. And then I looked at him a little bit more. Right. And then he coined the phrase, it was quoted, I purple you. Right?
Right.
So he said this at some gig, I purple you.
Now, what can that mean? Let me guess.
Yeah, I like wanting to guess this one.
I purple you. Is it, I don't, oh God, thinking back to school, a purple derple? Do you know what that is?
No.
When you kind of pinch someone's skin and twist it until they get a bruise.
All right.
That was a purple derple. Is he doing that to people?
Almost the very opposite, James.
Removing bruises from people's skin.
When he's-
some kind of tincture.
So he said, when he said, I purple you, he carried on in this vein live, and he said, do you know what purple means? Purple is the last colour of the rainbow. Purple means I will trust and love you for a long time. I just made it up, he said. So...
It's not purple, it's indigo.
All right.
No, it's violet.
And then, apparently, the audience, this is according to Newsweek, the audience lovingly roared in response to Taehyung's statement. While his BTS band members were stumped, he managed to create such an eloquent meaning for the vibrant shade off the top of his head.
Well, first of all, it's violet, and that's only the visible shades of the rainbow, because there's ultraviolet as well.
And then he says, I wish I could see you for a long time, just like the meaning of purple. We will always trust you and go up the stairs with you. You don't need to. You don't need to help. Quite. Let's dig into it.
So you're not singing to Daleks, we know that.
And then he's saying, you don't need to help us all the time. You can hold our hands and follow us now. Which is weird. You don't have to help us, but hold my hands and follow me. And then he finishes it off, this purple you with, we'll go up really high. I'll make it nice.
What a lovely sentiment.
Yeah. I mean, it made me look into your research in this, James. I thought, I've gone, this is too much.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
I'm sorry.
Googling Maria Lanza's weight.
And what film he goes up and down in. It's all right, because I purple Mario Lanza anyway, so we're all good.
In part 2 of this week's Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop, we'll be heading into the top 4 that's actually the top 5 for the 27th of December 1952, featuring the first 3 UK number 1s ever. A song written by an Irish policeman, a song about the joys of paternity, and a song that you can't refuse.
What does that sound like?
It'll sound like this.
I knew this song beforehand. I absolutely love this record.
The title refers to the tradition of spanking a newborn baby just after birth to ensure it draws breath.
I got arrested for shoplifting a James Brown cassette once. And I would like to say that I absolutely did that.
They used to do it sort of with their mates, the sort of a piss take of bad singing and stuff. And then they ended up putting out albums of it. Check out our Spotify and YouTube playlists and let us know your thoughts at shoobypodcast@gmail.com. And for the songs that aren't in the top 10
Or never made the top 10.
join our Patreon community and become a subscriber.
Thank you so much for listening. We genuinely appreciate it. Please rate, review, subscribe, share, follow, tell your friends, shout from the mountaintops, write a letter to your mum maybe, if she's still about. God bless her. I've gone off the point, and whatever you do, shooby dooby doo up.
Bop bop shoe up.